Hi there. In this tutorial video, we want to show you how to learn the basics of using the CRMLS and some tips and tricks. So once you log into the MLS, this would be you could just Google and run a search for crmls.org. Um, you see something, you see a place where you could log in, and then once you log in, you see this. Click on the CRMLS matrix, and then once you're in, you would see a website web page like this. Now, the most basic thing that you could do on the MLS is number one, search for listings that are available for sale on the MLS. So the number should be around 85% to 90% of all the active properties are available on the MLS. For the MLS, it's usually for residential or leases, land. Commercial, you see a little bit less of it. They have another uh, website similar to what CRMLS does. It's called Looknet, and that's where you find most of the commercial listings. But over here, we're usually going to go through residential and leases. So one of the example would be an agent trying to find specific listings for their buyer clients in a city. So what you want to do is number one, it is going to be the client trying to look for a residential property. So go up to search, go to residential. I usually prefer to go to details. In another scenario, maybe it is a client looking to lease a property, looking to rent a property, not lease a property, rent a property in a specific area. Then instead of residential, you go to residential lease. Usually, all the stuff that we do falls between residential lease and residential. Now, going back to the buyer trying to purchase a property in a specific area with specific criteria, we click on details, and this is what you would see. Now, the few things that you need to know is number one, there are a lot of criteria over here, and fortunately, usually agents only use a few main criteria. Number one, since we are looking for a property for a buyer, assuming that we're doing so, the property needs to be active. There's a blank you could fill in over here. Maybe in some point the agent or you are looking for properties that are active for the past 30 days. So you want to put 1 to 30. And then this would show all the properties active for the past 30 days. Maybe some buyers don't want to have properties that are on the market for too long. So this is how you do it. Now, if you don't know how you can fill in the blanks over here, you can click this question mark. It will show you the details on the different status of the listing and what does that mean. So this gives you a better idea. Now, let's say we are looking for a property in Chino Hills that is active, and then it needs to be active within 1 to 45 days. So right now you would see there are 240 matches, but then if I want something that is recent, 1 to 7 days, you would see it drops down to 18. So do that too. Now, what are the differences between the status over here? If a if a listing has already received an offer, it would usually be active on the contract. Go through escrow and then contingencies. It will be pending. Once the listing is active, pending, and then sold, which is closed, you would see close. If a listing is on the market, because agent signed a listing agreement, they also need to specify how many days would the listing be for. Let's say the listing is 30 days, and then the agent put the listing up on the MLS for 30 days. There are no activities, no one wanted to buy it, it's not sold. That means it will be expired. So if you want to look for expired listing, you click on this. For some reason, it might be canceled, then you click on cancel, it will show you all the listing that was canceled for the specific days that you wanted to put. If you don't put anything over here, it will show everything. Hold usually is when a listing need to undergo some fixes and it's not available in the market for sale right now, or some renovations, then you put hold. Withdrawn is just withdrawn, something that cancel, it's taken down from the market. Over here, you'll see different property types. We usually do a single family residence, condominium, townhouses. Um, but we a little bit less. If some agents are more specific on the property type, they will tell you what type would it be over here. All this are a little bit less um, less common, so I would just go through and skip this. The second most important thing is the city. So you could do city searches. Usually agents just do this. Let's say we are searching for Rolling Heights instead of Chino Hills, then you would go Rolling Heights like this. Now, if you wanted to search for multiple properties at the same time, then you just want to put a comma and then type in the next city's name, and then you go on ahead. So comma, spacebar, and then maybe Hacienda Heights as well. The other most things that Asian company use is the part over here. Now, if you want to buy a home, you would know you have a budget for it. So maybe your budget is $450,000 to $600,000. If that is the case, you just type in the number and then type dash and then $600,000, and then it will show you all the thing that is in family present that is active, that is in the three cities within. So that's that. If you want to look for something that is $600,000 or less, then you just type in the number, the digits, and then minus just key in the minus symbol over here. If you want to look for something $600,000 and above, then you just put the plus symbol over here, and it would show everything else. Now, bedrooms and bathrooms, also very common. It goes with the same logic for the prices in terms of the symbol and how you use it. So if the buyer wants to have 2 to 4 bedrooms, then you just put 2 to 4. If the buyer wants to have 3 or less bedrooms, then just 3 or less. 3 or more, 3 plus. Same goes to bathroom. So in bathroom, the it would be a little bit different because you could put 2 bathrooms. It has 39 matches, or you could put 2.5. 3.5. Oh, interesting. They changed it a little bit. So, for bathroom, you could just put how many bathrooms you want. There are differences between full baths, 3 or 4 baths, 1 or 4 baths. So, exact differences, I am not too sure about it. But then when you click over here, it would actually tell you what's the differences on it. Now, as far as I know, full bath comes with the bathtub and shower as well. Half bath doesn't come with the bathtub. It only comes with a basin and the toilet, the bidet, I guess so. And then with living area, this one talks about square footage. So let's say the buyer wants to have buy a home within this criterias with a 1800 square footage to 2000 square footage. So same logic for the prices and the bedrooms. I'm gonna have 800, 1800 or less. Then it shows a different number. So that's that. Garage spaces, same thing. You build pretty straightforward. Lot size would be like the living area. Now, lot size talk about the whole property and the outside area, the front yard, backyard, the sizes of that as well. So usually those are larger square footage. Living area is within the property within the building. The living area, the square footage for the living area. Sometimes they go with listing terms as well, 1031 exchange and so on. But usually you would see cash to new loan would be the common thing. But I don't think agents use this too much in terms of searching houses. So if you have a specific property, let's say you're not looking for a bunch of properties out there, you have a specific property that you saw online that you want to do some more research on, and then um, you want to search for a property on the MLS. I recommend going to the location, putting the number, street name, even the unit number with the city. Then you will find a specific property, and then check out its history and APN number. So in terms of that, you could go over here. These are very detailed criteria. Usually, agent don't use it. But if they have specific questions on this, then you need to go through what the criteria are here. I don't want to go through all of it, but go through the criteria and see if anything applies. Then click on it. Now, the other thing is I would recommend doing this. Let's say the buyer wants to look for Chino Hills. There's a budget around 450,000 to 600,000. Then he wants to have 4+ bedrooms, 3+ bath. Living area, maybe more than 1,800. Two matches. So based on what the buyer is looking for, there's two matches. And then sometimes, most of the time, agent would want to send out the email. So let's say the buyer told the agent that they want these criteria of houses in Chino Hills. The agent found a few, and they intend to email this to the buyer. So you can just click on results. Let me go back. So, oh, let's see if I can do this. So here there are two matches. You click on it and then click on search. So you find these two listings. Select both, and then you have choices to email it, print, and so on. Now the other thing you want to know is the display. So you could choose if the agent. There are agent version and customer version. So one of the biggest difference between agent version and customer version is with agent version you would be able to see the contact information and more details about the listing agent of the property. Number two, most important of all, the buyer's agent commission. They use an acronym which is BAC because you don't want the customer to see how much you're earning in terms of commission from property. You don't want the customer to contact the listing agent directly if you are the buying agent. So in that case, you want to go with the customer. So you can do customer flyer or customer thumbnail. Um, these are all based on preferences. So you click on customer version and then you click email. And then you could found the customer's email address, subject line, whatever. Um, and then click send. So the client would receive the email address with the information of the listing. Now, if you decide to print this off instead, um, usually agents would go with customer thumbnail like this, or customer full, gives more details, or customer flyer or flyer with no address. So flyer with no address doesn't show the actual address if you were wondering. So once you've done this, you can click on print, and then just make sure that you choose the correct one again, customer flyer full over here, and then click print or print to PDF or email to PDF. So there are more options to email, to print as PDF, or actually print it right away. Over here you got print with rollout. So if you click print with rollouts, it would show the detailed photos of the listing, because the ones that we saw earlier only has the front exterior photo, the first photo of the listing. If you want to see the other 28 remaining photos, then you could click print with rollouts like this. Okay. So this is the one with rollouts, but as far as I know, agents usually don't go with this. So once you're done with this, these are the basic ones that agent would do. The other thing is maybe an agent wants to search some information about a specific listing. Um, let's do 440. Um, So let's say the agent wanted to know a little bit more about this listing. Maybe he wants to get this listing, but he doesn't know much about the listing history and so on. He could do searches on it. So let's say this listing is, well, definitely you need the exact address to find out about it. But let's say this listing is in the Wood Court, unit number 18. So you found the listing and then you want to know more about its history. When was it sold? How much was it sold for? Um, the descriptions and so on. Who was the listing agent before? And most importantly, the parcel number. So when you click over here, you could see the more details about this listing in terms of the owner information, location information, text information, characteristic of the listing. So this one would tell you what kind of property is this, how many baths, what is the unit number, total units in this one property, because some property are multi-units, so they might have 3 units in one for one property, and then with that means those 3 units can be, maybe it's a income property, you could lease it out and so on. So over here you could know because this is from the text info. When you go down over here, you would actually see the history of this property, with how many times it was on the MLS, was it sold, how much was it sold for, and so on. Here it goes with the mortgage information. So you would actually know the seller's information, and then the buyer's information, the name, the last time it was sold for. So mortgage history, how many mortgage amount they took. This actually gives you a good idea if the current homeowner who bought the house in 2017, how much they took the loan for. If it's $104,000 dollars for a $270,000 property, then he probably did a conventional loan. This one probably did a for a $87,000 property, 30%, $30,000 would be close to 35%. So this would be conventional loan as well. Well, actually, it shows you over here. Oh my god! But it also shows how much equity does the seller have, and this could kind of determine if his motivation to sell as well. So this gives you more information. You could see comparables, other homes that were sold in the property recently, and then you could do neighborhood search. You could see the neighbors of this property, their information as well, and market trends over here. So that marks the end of the first tutorial. Basically, this video, I just wanted to show you how to do basic searches for buyers who are looking for specific properties, or for agents who are looking for a specific history details of a property that they saw somewhere or that they want to do some research. And that marks the end of the tutorial. Thank you. Have a good day.